Hi guys, School here. I'm back with some Train Sim World CSX Heavy Haul Edition. We're on the public beta 10 now, so things have moved on a little bit from when I previously showed you this game. Today, I thought we'd do a bit of work on this thing, on this kind of rotary platform, and also I'll show you how to cold and dark start the loco over there. And then I thought what we'd do is we'd bring it onto the rotary bridge here, and we'll take the loco down there, which is the fuel shed, and I'll show you how the refueling works. So we've a few things to do, three things to do really: cold and dark, rotary, and refueling. So let's get on with it. Let's run over to the loco. Since the version I showed you, I think the frame rates have improved quite a bit. If I actually press F3 here, you can see I'm now getting, what, 40, sometimes dips down to about 35, 40, upwards of 50, and that's on a summer's day when the draw distance is maximum. The one I showed you was quite a wintry scene, and that was, the frame rates on that are always higher, quite frankly, because the draw distance just kind of gets fogged out. So things have definitely been improved. One would hope by release time we'll be pushing 60 upwards. Anyway, let's climb on board, and we're going to open the door here. First thing we're going to do, that's the handbrake, by the way, which is currently on. So first thing I'm just going to do is make sure that the brake pressure is up here. We're going to put the automatic brake into full service, and we're going to turn off the independent brake. So we've got full automatic brake. Now let's get back out and undo the handbrake. We'll leave the door open because we're going to have to go down there anyway shortly. Right, cold and dark. Let's have a quick look. So we're going to sit down here and just make sure that everything is as it should be. All of these switches here are all turned off for now. They're all in reversers, all in neutral, which is all good. Throttle is in idle, which is good. So everything appears to be hunky-dory. So we're going to open this panel here. And right now we've got a whole bunch of throw switches here. They're all turned off. The fuse is out, so I'm going to put the fuse in. I think you would normally do a fuse test. I'm not really sure exactly how that works. I haven't read the manual. This is just stuff I've figured out. I'm sure there's a particular order that you're supposed to do these things, which I'm not aware of yet. We'll put the main breaker in now, and we'll throw all these switches on. If I was to read through the operations manual, I'm sure it would tell me exactly what order to do this in, because some things may be more critical to be done in order than others. There you go, fuse light now works, so that's fine. We'll shut that. We shall put the isolation switch to, now start, stop and run. Do we need that in run before we start the engine, or do we need it in run afterwards? I'm not 100%. We'll leave the lights off for now. We don't need any of those. Actually, I suppose you should put the engine room light on, I guess. We'll leave that on. Let's go in here. Now we go outside and we look for the handle which we can throw, which is that one there. That's the little latch, and this is the engine compartment. Right, so there's a couple of things here. There's a switch down here which acts as a primer and a starter, and then there's a governor lever over here. So we want to prime it first. So we hold on the left mouse button, slide it to the left, and go for about 10 seconds, something like that. Okay, that should be enough. Now we're going to go for a start. And the engine's running. Isn't that beautiful, that audio? Absolutely lovely. Right, throw the governor. I'm not kidding. The engine audio on that. Oh man. The feeling of just starting up a big diesel engine. It really is superb. I love that. Right, let's close that. Throw the latch off there. As you can see, we can see inside here because the engine light is on. If we actually turn that off, we should. Come on, step through. No, that still looks like it's lit to me. Okay, maybe not then. Interesting. That is for that compartment, isn't it? What have we got there? Let's have a quick look. Number lights, front and rear can go on. Engine room lights on. Platform lights on. Yeah, I would have thought that would control that one. Okay, we'll throw that into the run position. That means we're pretty much done for the back panel now. There's nothing else to do there to get the engine going. What we can do now, optionally, and if I just shut that door a second, you can hear the aircon come on. You hear that? The air conditioning. So that you've got that. You've also got heating panels down here, so you can put the heating to low, medium, high, or blower only. So for example, we could put the heating on blower only down there, and the same thing on the driver's side. You know, it just depends what you want. There's nothing critical here, it's just stuff that works. Right, that's off. Next thing we need to do is get this thing down to the rotary. What we're going to do now is, though, before we do anything else, we'll go and move this around. Now, let's quickly see where we are. We're here, and we are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 spaces away. Just to give us a sense of where we are. Now, they don't operate, funnily enough. We'll get inside. We'll sit down. Put the camera on. Now, you've got a camera which is pointing out this way, and then you've got a camera which is pointing out the other way. So we're going to need this camera. We're going to unlock the turntable. And then if you hold either that lever down or just use the A and D. So if I hold down the D key, that's going to move us around. So you can do it this way, or you can just look at the camera, whatever you fancy, but we should see the loco line up shortly. And the track is just there, so it's that track that needs to line up. There you go, we're coming up now. Like so. We'll lock that in, we'll get out the seat, and we're basically going to drive this thing onto the turntable, and then I'm going to rotate around and set our course back up to the fueling yard. Do you know, it's so nice, like this game is only in a beta right now, but it's so nice seeing a train simulator approach the level of detail that flight simulators have enjoyed for many years. It is so very nice to have this. I just hope that going forward this game will bring many more locomotives, and particularly when we start getting to modern technology where there's onboard systems, I really hope they start to implement those systems properly, because it will be an absolute pleasure to learn to drive locomotives properly, you know. Ditch lights, step lights and gauge lights, we don't need any of those apart from the gauge light. We'll turn on for now just because it looks nice. Those that we threw there with the engine run, fuel generator and control and fuel pump, they're all on. The rear lights we don't need. The front lights we'll put to bright, like so. If we was to step outside, of course, we'd see the lights turned on now. But the rear lights we've not put on at all. The options are dim, medium, and bright. We'll leave them off. Then we've got the bell. Interestingly enough, let me show you the bell. One sec. Won't take a second. This is actually implemented. Watch this. Look at that. Now that's detail, right? That is detail. So cool. Let me jump off here. We'll go around the front. There you go. The lights are now on. Everything's all nicely lit up. The number lights are all lit up. It's all looking good. But yeah, if future locomotives are implemented like this, oh my life. It's just a game changer. It really is. An absolute game changer. Right, we don't need to worry about anything else. I think we can set foot here. So what we'll do is release the brakes and we'll watch the brake pressure come down. There we go, that little red needle there. We'll put the reverser into forward. There's not really much point accelerating until that red needle gets towards zero because you're just fighting against the brakes. So we'll just wait and then we'll start to move forward. There we go. Right. Just sound a little alert there, and we'll have a look at outside camera view. I'll stay inside while we do this, but let's give it a bit more acceleration. Now obviously you could cause serious damage to a locomotive if you manage to drive off the end of this. I imagine they need a crane to fix the problem and you'd get sacked. So no, I'm not going to drive off the end for the lols, I'm just going to do it properly. Anywhere around here should do. Well and truly in the middle there. That's where it should be. So we'll get out of our seat and we shall go out. We'll go out this way. We'll go out this way, it's much easier. There you go. Right, now this is a trickier bit. We want to jump across 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So we'll jump 7, and then we're going to have to set those points down there to make sure we go the right way. But let's do this bit first. So we'll unlock the turntable, and we'll start to move. That's 1, 2, 3, FPS on the camera monitor, 4, 5, 6, and 7. That doesn't look right to me. That's not what I mean. We can still get in that way, but let me move it back 1. That's where I want to go. Okay, let's lock that. Let's close the door. Right. I really should have turned the bell off, shouldn't I? I really should have turned that bell off. Never mind. Okay, let's run down the track and we'll see the point. The point for this one is correctly set. That's going to take us left, which is where we want to go. The audio when you're running is weird. It sounds like you're running with a clipboard or some other kind of bits of paper and stuff. Let's see. That point is correct. That one needs to be thrown. That'll take us that way. That'll take us straight through. Yep, that looks good. So this is I'm in a mode that allows you to walk around at the moment, which is quite cool. It's like a little sandbox. It just drops you in, and you can drop in anywhere in the map and just walk around. And they've left a few locos around. They've left some contests lying around for you to play with. The refuel station, the rotary thing. It's just nice, you know. Just nice to be able to play around. Okay, let's close that. Let's do that. Let's get rid of that belt. Okay, now we're reversing. So I'm going to put the reverser. So backwards position. Release the brakes. Brake pressure's coming down. Give it some power, and hopefully we'll start to head in the right direction. We'll keep it between 5 and 10, I think. Don't want to go over 10 miles per hour. Okay, so we should start turning left. Let's actually have a look from this camera view so we can see what's going on. I have to say though, the graphics are absolutely lovely. The texturing is absolutely bang on. I wish they'd do something about the skybox though. I think the skybox is a bit lame. You know, I'm certain we could expect a lot better skybox than that. But everything else is bang on. The only thing I would say is the draw distance on the track details. So pay attention to the sleepers in between the track there. Can you see the draw distance? That should be a lot better, I think. And also when you're on foot, actually further down, just about there, can you see where the track starts to appear? See, look at this now, look. You can see the actual metal track start to appear, but right there now, it looks like there is no track. But as we get closer, it starts to draw it. So hopefully that's just an optimization thing. And they can fix that. You see, it just pops in. It's a bit weird. This is where we want to be. Okay. So back in the carriage, what we're going to do is put the brakes on fully, put the reverser into neutral. There we go. Whoa, when did I open that? Has somebody been in here? I don't remember opening that. That's slightly worrying, that is. Okay, I mean, I don't know what procedures are. Maybe procedures state that you should definitely handbrake in here. It would seem to make some sense. Okay, right, here we go. This is the actual... I don't know why that's shaking around. Maybe we're refueling with ants or something, I don't know, but... Over here is the meter that shows you how much fuel you've currently got on board. We just click on that, and I assume that's meant to show a visible level of fuel, but it doesn't seem to work. Like, I can't see anything there. Or maybe it's just not high enough, I don't know. Anyway, all you do is grab hold of the nozzle. You walk over here, you don't even click it, you just walk up to it. And that locks that in. And all you then do is turn this, and it starts to refuel. That's pretty much it. There are a couple of things that I noticed while I did this before, and one of them are, when you try to get on board the train, you now get this weird kind of, nope, you will not climb on board the loco. And the other thing is, invisible wall hype. Watch, look at this. I get locked in while I'm refueling. I cannot leave a particular box. There. It will not let me go outside of this box, and I can't go up the loco. I can't escape this environment, essentially, which I guess is a game thing to stop you refueling and walking away, but yeah, I'm not massively keen on that. Don't know what the full fuel capacity is. I don't know if there's anything around here that shows me the... I actually can't even see that label. I don't know what the fuel capacity is. It's not written anywhere. No. And also, you don't seem to get charged for it either. Auto start equipped. So I guess we'll just put it up to 1800 and call it a day there. Or should we go for 2000? I don't know. I kind of like to leave it long enough to see something happen here, but I don't know if something is going to... I can't crouch down. Oh, yes, I can. I can crouch down. The C key. Who knew? No. It would be good to see a liquid though now, just kind of filling up. $18.60. Maybe it auto turns off. I actually don't know. What does this thing do? That's nothing. So yeah, maybe they'll have more information in the manual when they release this thing. Yeah, 1900, that'll do. We don't need any more fuel on that. So we're going to turn that off. 1906. Put the nozzle back. Put the fuel cap back on. And we're done. We have just completed refueling. Now, looking out the back here, there are a few carriages here that we could hook onto. I'll just show you quickly the coupling as a bonus thing, because I wasn't planning on showing you that, but I might as well while we're here. There is another engine down there as well. Let's see what the points are set to here. Okay, that looks like it's been set correctly to take me into that. As you can see. That one's set correctly. So maybe we should drive down there. If we throw this one across now, we could get ourselves onto that track. Is this one set correctly? Yes, it is. So we get ourselves onto here, go down there. And the other thing you could do, of course, is go back to the turntable, but we'll not bother. We'll just get a move on down here first. So yeah, I can just show you quickly how you hook up. It's quite straightforward, to be honest. But I do like that the whole thing is a massive sandbox, and I hope that all future scenarios are exactly the same. Like, if anybody builds a scenario, you can just get on foot and just go and play around. Because that's going to be nice if you can do that. And brake off, close the door, get in our seat, reverse her into forward. Release the brakes. Right, let's bring the camera over here. Let's see what's going on. Yeah, the seasons are interesting. I think the rain is probably the one that seems to hit the frame rate the most. I'm also not sure how realistically the weather's going to be simulated in terms of, you know, is water or ice or is any of that going to reduce friction? Are we going to get leaves on the line in autumn? Is that going to reduce friction? Unknown at the moment. But right now, this is definitely looking more like a next-gen kind of platform. What I don't know is how much control developers will have who are building locos for this, and they want to, you know... I remember in Train Simulator, like the previous one, Train Simulator 2015, 2017, all that kind of thing, I remember third-party developers would quite often have to build their own systems, and quite often they wouldn't be compatible with what was in the game, so you'd find yourself driving down. Let me just get the cockpit here, brakes are on, reverse into neutral. You'd find yourself driving along, and at the bottom it used to show you what the track speed was, and you'd suddenly find yourself in career mode getting penalty points because you were speeding. And what was happening was the screen at the bottom was showing you the track speed, but the developer had kind of gone outside of the box, outside of the limitations of what Train Sim would allow, and they were implementing different track speeds, effectively, and you'd lose points because of it, and that was a real pain. I just hope that developers can do advanced things with the engine. Like, they can probably script the engine so that they can make it do what they want it to do. That should work. And so the whole thing will be quite cohesive. What I am interested to find out is if they'll carry forward that kind of track view that we used to get down the bottom. So as you're driving along, you know, like, what the speeds, where the signals are, what the speed changes are going to be from a high level view, or whether you'll have to pay attention to what's going on the track. That is currently an unknown thing. No, let's not shut the window, shut the door, thank you. Okay, reverse, release the brakes. Boy, this thing accelerates quickly when there's no consist on the back. That blue diesel smoke, look at that. Not exactly saving the environment with this loco, but, you know, she's not a modern piece of equipment by any stretch of the imagination. Right, so we want to be hooking it up at about less than 5 miles per hour. Something like 3 is ideal. I don't think you'll cause any damage above 5, but you might give yourself a bit of a jolt in the cab. So what I'll do is I'll zoom in down here, and then we can kind of watch what's happening a bit. See if we can spot any detail. Let's give it a touch of brakes. Right, 4 miles per hour. Let's get down to 3. And clunk. There we go. Right, let's get out the seat. Let's run around the back. Climb down, and you can see that the couplings have hooked up, but all the brake pipes and hoses and that kind of thing have not. So when we do that... Oh, hang on, no, it has. Wait a second, wait a second. Let me jump down the other side. Interesting. Oh, there's only... Ah, okay. That is interesting. Look, there's only one pipe has been hooked up. On different consists, you'll have multiple pipes, and they'll kind of hook up here. But on this one, there's only actually one pipe to hook up. That's cute. I like that. Right, let's get back in. And can we close the door? Thank you. Yeah, there you go. So that's reverse into forward. That's essentially that. That is how you hook up. And of course, well, actually, we could just reverse out of here, couldn't we? That is how you, cold and dark, start one of these locomotives. How you refuel. And also how you hook up to consist. So it's a bit of shed work here, is what it is. There are some scenarios that kind of get you to do work on various locomotives, but in this particular mode, you can just do what you like. You can just faff about. It's a great thing. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed that video, guys. That was a very quick look at those three things. This game, I think, is heading in the right direction. I like what I'm seeing here. I really do. And I hope third-party developers are already looking at building for this. I'd like to see more detail on those trees. They look a little bit basic, but it's not the end of the world. Like I said, I think there's more work to be done on the sky, the trees, and the draw distance thing. There's definitely a draw distance problem, which you can see again here. But in terms of the simulation itself, I really like what's happening. It's great. So that's it from me. Until the next video, guys, take care. Happy training.